Hi, my name is Mr. Wilde, and in this video I'm going to demonstrate how to make a bowl using the pinch technique. The pinch technique is the most basic of all the hand-forming techniques of making ceramics or pottery. Because a bowl is round, I want to form the clay into a sphere or a ball. I start off by gently tapping the corners and edges to round them off. Then I get a little more aggressive with the clay, packing it like one might make a snowball. Sometimes I'll even use the hard tabletop to help me with the shape. Next, I want to drill a hole into the clay. I want that opening to be centered, so I do this step in a very precise way. I start out by making an indention into the center of the clay. Then I press my thumb a little bit deeper into the clay. I use my other fingers to lift and turn the clay. I just repeat these steps, each time pushing my thumb in a little bit deeper. My left hand remains curved like a cup to help the clay stay rounded. Also, be mindful that you don't puncture the clay at the bottom. You don't want to push through. As you finish this step, the opening should be fairly centered, with the rest of the clay resembling a partial sphere. The next thing I'm going to do is pinch the sides of the bowl to thin them out. But as bowls usually sit flat, I'm going to gently tap the bottom of the sphere against my plasti base in preparation to making the bowl. The next step takes the most time and is a killer forearm workout. Starting with the bottom of the bowl, I begin gently pinching the clay. This is a process where 100 little pinches is better than 10 big pinches, or even 50 medium pinches. I want to move the clay just a little at a time. Again, I start near the bottom, pinching all the way around, making sure to go around several times. Then I begin to move up to the middle section of the clay, again using several little pinches as opposed to fewer big pinches. Lots of times when using the pinch technique to make a bowl, the upper section of clay starts to get too thin too early. The problem with this is that one of the defining characteristics of a bowl is its wide open rim, and lots of times if I just keep pinching up, the final result looks more like a cup than a bowl. For this next step, I'm taking the rim of the bowl and I'm folding it inward or rolling it inward. I'll go around several times, moving the clay just a little bit at a time. This shortens the bowl's height initially, but it makes the rim really thick so that when you start to pinch out the rim of the bowl, it opens up really wide like a bowl should. Then I just continue to pinch around and around and around. I'll spin the bowl several times as I continue to pinch. But here's where things can be a little bit tricky. I want the bowl to be evenly thick throughout the whole bowl. And even though it looks like I'm still pinching, sometimes my fingers are just acting like calipers, checking the thickness of the clay. If I can tell that the clay is at a good thickness, I stop pinching that section of clay because I don't want to make it thinner. If it gets too thin, it will break. But I'll continue to spin the bowl and pinch the clay in some of the thicker parts until the clay is at the right thickness throughout the whole bowl. The last step is gently tapping the bottom of the bowl against the plasti or a hard tabletop. Then, to flatten and even out the rim of the bowl, I'll use both hands to gently lift and turn the bowl upside down. As I tap the rim against a hard surface, I barely lift the bowl above the level of the table. I also slightly rotate the bowl as well. This helps the bowl to stay circular. The final product, a nice, wide-rimmed bowl ready to be carved.